and now they lose it. The Patriots offense now, they work their way back onto the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were competent enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
And strong running there gets this up over the 15-yard line. They get 9 yards back on the run there, and they're left with a much more makeable 3rd and 2.
Now that's a decent amount of aggressiveness right there. Inside their own 10-yard line, they still run the toss, even though they know that that can be a little bit of a dangerous play, and it pays off pretty well with a nice run.
So following the run, we'll see what they do here on 3rd down. Now a toss play to Blunt. And he gets the first down here as he's taken down at the 24. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
Well, partner, they might want to tear up their scouting reports a little bit here because they just broke tendency. 3rd down, you don't ordinarily see a toss. They ran it really well and picked up a first down. I love the way the edges were sealed, which allowed him to get to the corner.
So the run gets them the first, and now they operate with a fresh set of downs. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Now they'll throw with Brady. And he's got Edelman for the first time. That's complete. Past the 20. And all the way in. Touchdown, New England. Julian Edelman, 73 yards. And the Patriots add 6 to their lead. And when a Hail Mary is completed for a touchdown pass like that, I think any defensive coordinator just puts their face right into their hands.
I don't think there's any doubt about it. And I don't have stats in front of me. I don't have the empirical numbers that say that in recent years the Hail Mary pass has been completed more than it has been. But it feels that way, doesn't it? And I know the defenses are spending more time on it. I think the biggest mistake they make is that they play everything from behind the receiver. I think they've got to start getting people in front as well to try and knock the ball away.
And he's got it to make it now 13-0. So that drive spanned 5 plays. And a pretty good run there in the end to top it off. Gostkowski now, after the touchdown, he'll send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. And now the Browns offense trots back onto the field. And they'll be looking to atone for last time's mistake of fumbling inside the red zone. Certainly they don't want to do that again.
And so much emphasis placed on red zone offense. I mean, you have periods devoted in practice just for that because everyone knows how vital it is to put points on the board when you've entered that part of the field. And to come away with nothing, that's difficult for a team to handle.
And difficult, and now we'll see if they can make it less difficult on themselves on this drive.
Timing's crucial in any route thrown, but when you throw an out, so many things are going through the mind of the receiver. Catching the ball, timing it up with the quarterback. Are my feet going to get down inbounds? On that play, all those things going through his head might have caused him to drop it.
On 2nd down, here's Crowell. And he will fight his way forward to about the 23-yard line. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's 3rd down.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
On 3rd down, Griffin. Dumping it off for Johnson. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
They come up in an offset eye. Now a play fake here on first down. Oh, he's got some breathing room. A minute 59 to go in the first half. We're back to Super Bowl 51 after this. A reminder, coming up at the intermission, we'll get highlights of this Super Bowl from Larry Ridley and the crew in Orlando with our EA Sports halftime report. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
That was a classic example of trying to run with the ball without securing the catch. He was thinking about those rack yards instead of making the catch first and then taking off.
They come up in an empty set. 4 wide receivers, 1 tight end. 2nd and 10. Once again, Griffin. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. Give them 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
It's a nice completion, a little bit of run after catch as well to create the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because they run it at varying speeds. Because the key is to create hesitancy on the defender's part.
Always so empathetic for those DBs, aren't you? Now Griffin on first down. It's caught. It's Barnage over the middle. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Seeing that play and understanding just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice game right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice second down for them.
For Kidder here, it's complete. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. Charles on the slant. You always need good ball placement. They got it there.
Brandon, the quarterback, put it in the exact perfect spot, right to the upfield shoulder of the receiver, and he used his body to keep the defender away.
From the red zone now, here's Griffin on first down. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Griffin will throw again. A screen complete to Crowell. And they'll lose yardage here. Knocked back to the 19-yard line. So we're back in the offense getting set following the call of that timeout. And the seemingly endless drive continues. Third and long. It's Griffin. Now look out. Griffin hit, and he lost the football. It's loose.
Plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
And Coons connects on this one. It's good. So is the... You seriously just skip the halftime of the Super Bowl? Who does that? It's a Super Bowl. Watch the halftime show. All right, here we go. Third quarter action now. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. Set to return. Here's Raheem Mostert. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. Here's the Browns offense now getting set to start off this third quarter. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them.
Whether they deserve credit or not, the defense is going to take credit for that incompletion because it always feels good when you slow down an offense.
Offense looking to avoid a 3rd and long. It's 2nd and 10. They'll come out in the pistol. Now a handoff to Crowell. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
All right, Brandon, you know me as well as anyone. You know I don't usually advocate abandoning things during a game, but here we are in the second half. I think it's time to change things up. Let the running game go a little bit. Let's get to the passing game, and if you still want to get in the hands of the runner, maybe you swing it to him, throw it to him a little bit, try it that way.
They stay on the ground. This time it's Johnson. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down.
When you're putting together a formula for winning defense, it's exactly what we're seeing in this game. Controlling the line of scrimmage, attacking, and changing everything so that now they're playing in the offense's backfield. They're playing an excellent game.
This is fielded at the 7. A big boot that time. 57 yards the official distance. And the Pats will be backed up deep to get the drive started as they take over 1st and 10. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away. Defense, we got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see if the offense gets done. I've got to make sure that I don't take Tom Brady's greatness for granted, that we make it routine. How about that throw right there? Yeah. Another great completion.
And you know one area where he honed his throwing? He was a catcher in high school. He was actually drafted by the Expos in 1995 in the 18th round.
Wow, that would have been something to see him behind the dish.
Think he gunned down a few guys?
Gunned down a few guys trying to steal second. That would have been fun to watch.
On 1st down, Brady. He's going to go for a big play downfield. It's caught inside the 25. Brady and Edelman hook up for a big one. 41 yards. The former 7th-round pick, Julian Edelman, just continues to have such a productive career.
And has made himself into a receiver. Remember, he was a college quarterback, and not just a productive one, a very good one.
At Kent State, right?
Yes, a great leader, a guy who could make plays with his feet and his arm. Got to the NFL and had to convert into being a receiver and was drafted that way. And that conversion, oh boy, it's been good.
On 1st and 10, here's Brady. Over the middle, it's Amendola. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Christian Kirksey coming on the blitz. He gets him for a loss of 7. They've been moving the ball well offensively, really getting into a groove. Last play, pass completion. Now, finally, the defense gets there.
And you have to find a way to disrupt their rhythm. Do you do it with coverage, or do you do it with pressure? They elected to go with pressure, and it was the right call.
Throwing is Brady on third down. Oh, nice spin.
Oh, that brought back bad memories.
And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. Boy, a call like this, certainly tougher to make in a Super Bowl, but they'll go for it on fourth down. Brady to throw for it on fourth down. And he will find his man. That's Hogan, complete. It's a pickup of 17 there. And the decision to go for it pays off. They've got a first and goal.
Well, the field goal attempt was well in hand. They had that, but they decided to go for it anyway. Extreme confidence, it looks like.
Yeah, but I bet the defense is going to remember this one, right? They kind of rubbed their nose in it. And here comes play number 6 on this drive. To throw, it's Brady. And that's caught by Bennett. Touchdown, Patriots. Martellus Bennett from 3 yards out, and the Patriots add on to their lead. And he's a reliable target. He's more than that, though. Hey, look, I'm not going to say he's the best tight end in the league, but he's solid.
Yeah, because he's able to block, and that's almost a lost art for a number of the tight ends in the league now, because the most popular guys are almost what we call move tight ends, more like receivers. But those guys who can do it all, there's still a place for them in the NFL.
And they'll get set here looking for the 2-point conversion. Brady's going to look to throw. And this is going to be caught. It's good. And that extends their lead by 2 more. And the formula there on the 2-point try, they go 5 wide. Not even the option to hand the ball off. They got it.
They tried to create space, and there isn't a whole lot of it there. For the defense, what you're trying to do is make sure that someone, if they're going to catch the ball, make them catch it behind you because they run out of space with the back line. But in this case, the offense figured it out.
Gostkowski now, after the touchdown, he'll send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. And here are the Browns now as the offense comes back out onto the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
They begin with a run by Crowell. And not too much going there as he'll get it up to the 23-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. And Crowell lost the football. And it's picked up by the Patriots. And he's into the end zone. It's a fumble return and a Patriot touchdown. And this defense has been extraordinary all season, and that might just be the cherry on top. What a play there on the fumble recovery touchdown.
Maybe it's time they get a nickname because they've played like the great defenses of the past. The Steel Curtain, Doomsday, the no-name defense. We might have to come up with one for these guys.
Extra point try for Gostkowski. And they open the lead up now to 25 points. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there, grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. On the return, here's Justin Gilbert. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. And the Browns offense back out there ready to take over. This has been a recurring theme tonight for sure. Nowhere to run. Back to the line of scrimmage, that's all. Rob Ninkovich on the stop.
Partner, you know I love to point out when teams break tendency and do something a little bit different from the norm. But when you run the ball in the first play of the drive, that's not a tendency breaker at all. That's just trying to establish yourself as you move forward.
Here's a give to Crowell. And this has been a recurring theme tonight for sure. Nowhere to run. Back to the line of scrimmage, that's all. No gain on the play, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. So he runs it for 1 yard, then no gain. I don't know that you go back to that well here on 3rd down.
Yeah, I don't know that you do as well, but if you want to get the ball to him, if you want him to have it, maybe you get him into space and throw it to him.
Now Griffin. And the pressure getting to RG3. He's brought down for the sack. The former Brown, Jabal Sheard, in there to drop him for a loss of 10. And it'll be 4th and long. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best.
Back now here on EA Sports. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. This is taken at the 18. No, a nifty juke there.
Not much fun for a guy trying to tackle it.
A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the Patriots take over. Out comes the New England offense to see what they can do this time. Good drive last time. Really effective passing the football. Do you maybe mix it up, now go to the ground game and surprise the defense a little bit?
I would anticipate the defense making some changes, but I wouldn't necessarily just absolutely go in the opposite direction. They're doing so well throwing the ball.
Yeah, well,
I wouldn't change it up until they showed me a reason to do so.
Gronkowski, the intended target. That'll bring up 2nd down.
And he still doesn't have a catch. We're into the second half. I think it's a little bit of a surprise to me, but that was one he should have caught.
Absolutely. That was his best opportunity right there. He dropped it. Offense still needing 10 yards. 2nd down. Time running out here on the play clock. Brady will try again on 2nd down. What a spin. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards. Back to the 33. It's a loss of 2. Now 3rd down. It looks like a nickel set now for the Browns on 3rd down. Now Brady on the crossing route. That's caught. Julian Edelman. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the second half. So here we go. The offense is going to stay out there. They're going for it on 4th and 8. The Pats do snap it. It's Brady letting one go deep here for Gronk. And it is incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Browns are going to get this thing back. Excellent field position. So they were really trying to put the nail in the coffin there already with this lead here in the 4th, but they didn't get it.
Guaranteed. It's not going to be a fun handshake in the postgame, right? You just know that there's going to be some bad blood there. And I know if we go to the postgame press conferences, the winning coach, you know what he's going to say, why he did it? We need the points, okay? Because you never know at the end of the year if points are going to come into the tiebreaker if we're trying to get into the playoffs. That's always the standard justification.
And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff, dude.
Yeah, when we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, you know, they like his work ethic. You know, this guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
Griffin gives to Crowell on the draw. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
So much of the game today, we're looking for hybrid players, guys who can do a combination of jobs. And anyone who plays a strong safety position, now more than ever, is a hybrid-type player. Half defensive back that covers passes, and half linebacker that makes tackles. We just saw the linebacker make that play.
7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks. He had time, was able to survey the field and find a soft spot in that zone coverage.
And that's where it gets difficult for a defender, Brandon. You go to your spots on the field that you have to cover, and when the offense finds an area that you're not in, that's where they throw the football.
On the run, it's Crowell. And this has been a recurring theme tonight for sure. Nowhere to run. Back to the line of scrimmage, that's all. So what will they do? On the ground, through the air, let's see. 2nd and 9. On 2nd down, Griffin. Now look out, Griffin hit, and he lost the football. Does the big boy have the juice? He's at the 50, 30, the 20, 10, and it's a New England Patriots touchdown. And this defense has been extraordinary all season, and that might just be the cherry on top. What a play there on the fumble recovery touchdown.
Maybe it's time they get a nickname because they've played like the great defenses of the past. The Steel Curtain, Doomsday, the no-name defense. We might have to come up with one for these guys.
Gostkowski for the point after. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. This is fielded at the goal line. And a good return. He's across the 35-yard line, right around the 36. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. Throwing now, Griffin on 1st down. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away.
Well, the pressure, the hits, the sacks have been coming at him all game long. I'm frankly surprised that they haven't found a solution yet to create more time for him to throw it or maybe change what they do on offense.
And that's one of the biggest differences in this game and why they're losing right now. 2nd and 10 now. Griffin. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Isaiah Crowell, the intended target. And it's third down.
And there's a good opportunity to just went awry there. A drop pass. I guess that's why they call them running backs and not catching backs.
Third down here for the offense after the incomplete pass. On third down, Griffin. And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up fourth.
Partner, how many times have you heard it? Pressure creates diamonds, right? But it also bursts pipes. And on that one, that's what they got. They got after him, and he was fortunate just to get rid of it.
Yeah, he just had to chuck it away. Yards on the punt there. And possession will switch here as this offense will come on deep in their own territory. Now the Patriot offense set to take over again. And this offense last time turned it over, went for it on fourth, didn't get it. They're lucky, though, because no points against the team on the board, but we'll see how they respond.
Yeah, they've got to get a lot of credit to their defensive teammates, don't they? They had their backs on that last series, and because they did so, that allows the coach to still stay aggressive on offense and maybe go for it again in a similar situation.
I was going to say maybe makes that offense feel good, but when you know you've got a defense making stands like that.
Yeah, that'll loosen up things a little bit, won't it? Maybe you'll play a little bit better the next time you have the ball. While we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore, I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion, and both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
12 yards there as they move the chains.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
2 minutes to go in Super Bowl 51 from Houston. So the Patriots with a football as we get you reset. And they have just about put this one on ice as they've got it here, 1st and 10. And over the middle to the tight end, Bennett. 4 yards on the dump off at 2nd down.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
Completed pass play. Now let's see if they go back to the air or to the ground. Brady going to look to throw. Oh, look at that.
Oh, look at him turn.
And he's brought down. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. On 1st and 10, here's Brady. And a scary incompletion, almost picked off. It would have been their first INT of the game. Instead, 2nd down.
Well, he did almost everything right. Excellent coverage, breaks on the football, just unable to haul it in and take it the other way. So he dropped an interception. The key for him now, don't dwell on it. Just move on to the next play.
Blunt, the lone running back. Brady will try again on 2nd down. It's caught outright, Amendola. And he carries this one all the way down to the 9. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
Well, go ahead and throw the ball, man. You got the big lead. You got the clock on your side. Obviously, they don't care much about the feelings of the other team, do they?
Well, I was going to say, you better run to the locker room pretty quick after this one.
Well, right now, maybe. They're just looking at it from the fantasy perspective. More points for everyone if they win big.
Now Brady. And this will be caught. And the carnage continues. It's another touchdown.
And to me, that touchdown allows you to start grinning widely on your sideline. I think they pretty much locked this one away.
Yeah, that's the clincher, the proverbial icing on the cake, if you will. The point after try for Gostkowski. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. So that drive takes them down the field in 8 plays. And it ends with a New England touchdown. Gostkowski now, after the touchdown, he'll send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that, and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team, and we were losing late in a game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Second down, 8. One last shot for RG3. This is complete to Hawkins. That catch good for 5. It's third down. And it's another Super Bowl title for the New England Patriots. And when this moment comes, I think you look back at all the blood, sweat, and tears, the offseason, the workouts, training camp, week 1, 2, 3, all building up now to say you're a Super Bowl champion. It's worth it.
It certainly is, and rarely do we have a team that hoists the Lombardi Trophy that didn't have their share of bumps along the way, didn't have to face some adversity in the journey, and now they get to just enjoy it and revel in it. And all offseason, they'll be signing their autographs with Super Bowl champion underneath it.
And they are the Super Bowl champs. The Lombardi Trophy is theirs, and so are bragging rights for an entire season. What a season it has been. Feels like we have been there every step of the way. Our entire crew doing a wonderful job. Thanks to my broadcast partner, Charles Davis. For all those guys, I'm Brandon Gaudin signing off. We'll talk to you next season right here on EA Sports.
I wanna sit on private planes. I wanna scream my name on top of the Eiffel Tower. On the Eiffel Tower. I wanna hit like blackjack. I wanna take that money out of you right now.